A will is a must. It's a must-have legal document that guarantees your assets are distributed in line with your wishes after you've passed. To ensure that your wishes are maintained, it is advisable to have a will drafted by a legal practitioner who can navigate all the necessary legal requirements. Now, as of tomorrow, South Africa will be observing National Wills Week. It's an initiative aimed to raise awareness about the significance of having a will and ensuring it is current. Let's discuss this further. We're going to be joined by Moremadi Mabule, the head of wills operations at Sanlam Trust. A very good afternoon to you. Thank you for your time with us here on the SABC.
Good afternoon, Liesl. Thank you so much for your time.
Moremadi, perhaps you could paint us a picture. What's the reality of on the ground in terms of South Africans regarding wills? And at this juncture of our society, the importance of it as well.
Yeah, I think, we can never get tired of talking about wills, especially focusing on the Wills Week, because the numbers are not going up in terms of the percentage of people that don't have wills. Currently, we've got about 78% of South Africans, working South Africans, that don't have a will. And that's the reality, meaning people pass on and they die intestate. And if you die intestate, there is consequences. There is the laws of intestate succession that will dictate who's going to get what in terms of your assets. And I think, there's also a growing trend. We can appreciate that a lot of people are focusing on growing their assets. It means, you want to preserve this. You want it to pass to the next generation. You don't want to pass away and you haven't planned. And that's the reality that we're sitting in. So if I'm painting a picture, a will is a must, and you must talk about it all the time, not only wait for the Wills Week.
Oh, and absolutely. And so with that, though, there are obviously misperceptions about the need for a will, where, some of the view that you only require one if you have a lot of assets, or it's a complex, it's an expensive process. Talk to us about that in terms of people and their willingness to accept that a will is important.
Yes. So there is, you put it correctly that there is a lot of things that it's perceptions. And I like calling them myths. The first one, people would say, no, it's only for the wealthy, those who have a lot of assets. No, a will is for everyone who's above the age of 18. You could have something sentimental. You could be 18 and perhaps you have received an inheritance. How are you going to protect that? So those are some of the things that, people they think of it as it needs to be a lot of assets. No, it can be anything. And I always say to people, if you have minor children, for parents, it is definitely a must, because in a will, that's where you get to actually nominate a guardian for your minor children. If you've got children with special needs, you get to nominate, you can set up a testamentary trust for them so that they are looked after. We get a lot of those kind of challenges. And is it expensive? No. You can get, a legal practitioner. I like what you said, that, you need to get an expert to draw up a will. And there is services out there that are available. You've got trust businesses that specialize in that. You've got your attorneys that can assist you. You can go to the bank, they can assist you. But, go to someone who specializes in drafting a will. However, there is also ways of doing something that we call an online template that can meet your requirements. It's not complicated. It can take you 2 minutes to draw it up, but it's well thought through. It's not a document where you're just going to write and quickly put it under the mattress. So you want it to meet the legal requirements. I want to quickly get into the legal requirements of a valid will. A will must be signed in front of 2 witnesses. The second part, it must be dated. And also it's important that you nominate an executor, which is somebody who's going to wind up the deceased estate. And the last part, the witnesses that sign, they must not be beneficiaries in your will, because those are the mistakes that we often find, that people would do a quick one. The next thing, they miss crucial things and it doesn't become a valid document.
Moremadi, thank you for your time with us on the SABC.